Welcome to the once again long-awaited return of DDD's Puppet Show, the show that isn't told by puppets, but it's rather told by figurines instead of puppets, which is a bit more amusing. Hope you guys are ready, because I got one frig of a jam-packed story today. So, 3, 2, 1, action! Oh, you scared me there. Oh yeah, that's right. You can't talk. Just like Kirby. Did you guys know that? I really hope you did. Alright. Here we go. Hey guys, Brady here. Excuse me. Hope you guys are being safe because the virus is still out there and it can kill. So be sure that you get a lot of hand sanitizer and wash your hands regularly. Because I bet He-Man is probably going to be like, you guys don't want to miss Arcade and Adventures of He-Man Eternal Time. We don't want you missing that. We don't want you missing both of those things. Just trust me, there's a lot of stuff planned in the future. But other than that, welcome back to Brady's Talks. Finally, another Brady's Talks, where I review certain games. This pink puffball has been a product of the times for a long while. He goes for those of you youngsters, he goes under the name Kirby. Named after the lawyer who helped out the lawsuit between Universal Studios and Nintendo with Donkey Kong and King Kong, John Kirby. And he's become a fantastic game character ever since 1992 on the Game Boy. And sure, he's had his mishaps like Kirby Tilt and Tumble and Kirby Star Stacker. Kirby Star Stacker was alright. Yeah. So since I reviewed countless Kirby games on here, you know, like Kirby Superstar Ultra, Kirby Planet Robot, Kirby Star Allies, Kirby's Return to Dreamland. What else did I review? Yeah. 4 Kirby games. Oh, and Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland, I forgot. Which was somewhat of a port of the NES Classic while also being its own creation. You can go watch that video right now and see me and hear me say that like 16 billion times. But today we're going into a game that really isn't talked about much. In fact, I don't think it got that much appreciation as Planet Robot. It's another Kirby 3DS game that you probably don't know about. So today, the review is Kirby Triple Deluxe for the 3DS. And the pun is kind of funny in the name because Triple Deluxe means 3D. Triple means 3, and Deluxe means D. You know, 3D. 3 definitions, whatever. Yeah, let us get into the story. The story here is, well, it's as typical of a Kirby story you can get. And the cutscenes look like they're from Kirby Superstar Ultra, which is kind of cool. Well, then again, that was the same for Planet Robot, but still. So Kirby's just having a natural day, you know, flying, fishing, eating apples while sleeping under a tree, flying on his Warp Star. The cutscene in the game explains it. But that is until at night, while he's sleeping in his cozy bed, a beanstalk called the Dreamstalk, heads up and captures the Puffball's house. And when Kirby wakes up, he He goes all out Jack and the Beanstalk on this. That's basically what this entire game is, just an incredible truncated version of Jack and the Beanstalk. So, he heads to King Dedede's castle, thinking that Dedede did all this trouble. But it turns out we have a new character, Taranza, who is also playable in Star Allies as one of the final Dream Friends, along with Maglor and Susie. So, Taranza captures the king, because he's apparently the most powerful spider in the world. And yes, he's a spider. You can tell because he's got 6 legs. Even though, look up the definitions of spiders and whatnot. That is if you are afraid of them. Unlike me. So, Kirby goes on a massive adventure. The gameplay. Alright, so. This game came a few years. This was 2013. 2013, yeah. 2 years after the release of Kirby Return to Dreamland, and 2 years after the release of that terrible Green Lantern movie. I'm sorry for bringing that up. That's just a really bad film. So the gameplay is really similar to the likes of Return to Dreamland. That is what Planet Robot was, and Star Allies right after it. So, yeah. Of course, the whole shebang of abilities are there, of course. You got sword, fire, cutter, beam, all the jazz. And spark as well. So, yeah. And this was not the last time that we've seen, that we will be seeing the wing ability, but it's not the first time. The wing ability was cut from Planet Robot due to the jet ability returning. And then we got the wing ability back in Star Allies. So, yeah, just wanted to give you a mentioning. New abilities, too. We got Beetle, which is somewhat of, it's like Bugsy's distant cousin. And, yeah. Belle, which we've never seen at all in any of the other games besides this one. We also have Archer, which is the most broken one, and Circus. Not that we would want to play with that ability, because it's a piece of crap. But it's pretty funny to see Kirby in Circus form. Yeah. And even the wheel ability appears in this game, too. So, there's that. So, that's all I gotta say for the abilities. But, what about the bosses? The mini-bosses? We're not getting into the actual bosses just yet. Not the final boss yet. We're getting into the mini-bosses. Of course, you have the classic Bonkers, that grants you the hammer ability. But then you have people like, Blocky, who has not been seen in a Kirby game at all. Ever since that one fun little pinball minigame in Mass Attack, we haven't seen him in a while. Like a really long while. This is probably his very first appearance in, a classic 2D platforming Kirby game. Which makes me wonder how he was often forgotten as the most obscure Kirby character in the games, besides Lolo and La, who originated in the NES era with with the Adventures of Lolo. And then we got what I presume is Wheelie's granddad, distant uncle or something. I think his name is Triple Wheel. I don't know. It's been a while since I've played Kirby Triple Deluxe. There's also Gigant Edge returning as well from Return to Dreamland, and Mr. Frosty makes his grand return in this game because he was missing in Return to Dreamland. However, King Doo and Dubior and Moundo, they're nowhere to be found. Instead, they're replaced with the mini bosses in Triple Deluxe. But yeah. Still, we need to see Blocky again in the Kirby games. I want to see him be in more Kirby games. And he is in Planet Robot, too. For a very brief moment. So let's talk about the boss battles. You're probably wondering, boss battles already? Well, yeah, because this isn't He-Man's Critique where I talk about the game design. The game design is wonderful, by the way. It's a little similar to Kirby Return to Dreamland. Okay, so the bosses. We have Flowery Woods, which is basically the offspring of Wispy Woods for some reason. then again, there was Clanky Woods after that. And then after that, no, before that came Crystal Wispy Woods from Kirby and the Rainbow Curse. Then there's Paintra, who you may recognize is the distant sister of Drossia from Kirby's Canvas Curse. That unknown DS game that nobody really talks about anymore. It's very gimmicky and fun. What else we got? Krako's returning. Krako, yes. Krako, he's just as simple as ever. And every boss has a second phase, which is kind of more epic than any of the other phases that we've ever had in a Kirby game. And then for the fourth world, which I believe is Wild Woods. Okay, so there's Coily Rattler, which is basically a giant snake made out of gold and platinum and whatnot. And yeah. Then, for the next world, it's like a frog, like a fire frog? I can't remember the name of him. It's something difficult to pronounce, by the way. And then for the final world, Royal Road. By the way, did you guys know that almost every one of the first, just like Return to Dreamland, the first letter of each word, like in the previous game, we had Cookie Country, Raisin Ruins, Onion Ocean, Winter Wafers, I don't know, I think that's what it's called, Nutty Noon, Egg Engine, and Dangerous Dinner, which all spell the word crowned. Funny. And in this game, Fine Fields, Lollipop Land, Old Odyssey, Wild Woods, Erupting Mount? I can't remember the name of it. And Royal Road all spell the word flower. They just keep getting more clever and clever as we keep going. Now, for the final boss. By the way, if you have not played this game, this is a spoiler. I'm giving you a warning. This game has a very major boss spoiler if you have not seen it. Put it up on the screen. There will be a warning in about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I warn you. Final boss is Dedede. Masked Dedede in particular. And then we have Masked Dedede's Revenge, which is basically a bit more harder, but a bit more easier. But then the almighty Queen Sectonia, another new character, tries and kills Kirby with all of her magical moves and whatnot. And yeah, that is until they're trapped. That is until Kirby and Dedede get trapped inside the castle by Queen Sectonia. But thanks to the flower sprites, they break the vines, and so Kirby sets off to finally finish off Queen Sectonia, which kind of has one of the most suspenseful songs that I've ever heard in a Kirby game. It's called "The Fatal Bloom in Night." It's in the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate soundtrack. It goes do 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 do. Yeah. And then when you think it's over, I completely forgot. We have to mention the super ability. There are no super abilities here. Instead, we have one special berry, the Hypernova Berry, which grants Kirby Hypernova, which is basically the way of saying, hey, we need to make Kirby's inhale a bit more powerful. Let's get to it. They made it in 10 times powerful than it already is. Yes. So, Taranza, who decided to be a good guy all of a sudden, same thing goes for Susie, and Dedede come up to Kirby with a Hypernova Berry and throws it at him. He turns Hypernova, he knocks Sectonia out of the park and inhales all of her things, including her health bar for some reason. That is insane. That is the most insane thing. And then he goes all Dragon Ball Z up, Kamehameha, all the way to Sectonia, and it instantly ends Kirby Triple Deluxe. So, overall, I think Kirby's first outing on the 3DS is cool, which is why I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. Not as good as Planet Robot, but still pretty good. With some decent graphics, with some pretty surprisingly neat new abilities, and, of course, cool bosses and mini-bosses, and the Hypernova Berry. So, thank you guys so much for watching. See you soon. Sayonara.